right, that was Tina Popcat being featured by Party Ranking right there. And it's time for us to talk real estate right here in the studio. So today I happen to have I'm happening to have a conversation with this entrepreneur who has built a brand in the real estate agency. So if you've been in Abuja for a minute and you've been trying to, catch a crib, make a house your home, find a place where you could lay your head at night, and you're looking for the most affordable deals. I think one of the reasons why I even singled out this agent was because, he in a world where, agents are trying to post the most expensive, he's like, let's look for the most affordable and give people place, because what is all this suffering about? His name is Gideon Sule, and he's been in the real estate market, in the real estate agency industry for well over 5 years and counting. And he has closed deals going on 300 million. So uncle has seen money. You get what I'm saying? Today we're going to be having a chat about navigating this industry, how we also can make our own 300 million. You get it? And how we can build a brand in the real estate agency company, as well as some of the things that we used to know, who is trying to cheat us and who is trying to do what they are supposed to do in life. Hello, Mr. Giddy Steele.
Hi.
I know I introduced you as Gideon Steele, but I don't think I can talk to you as anything other than Giddy Steele. So hi, Giddy Steele.
Hi, Chinwe.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good.
So just before we came on air, you said that today makes it a year since you were kidnapped.
Yes.
That's where I want to start to. Today, there's no soft landing. Babe, give me the gist. What happened? How did you get kidnapped in the first place?
Well, okay. That was when this naira just came back into circulation last year. We were having shortage or scarcity of the naira, and then there was a lot of kidnapping that period as soon as the currency just came back into circulation. So I think I and brother, not biological now, but we stayed together, and he was driving, and some boys just started shooting at us, suddenly, and
in broad daylight.
No, it was in the night. Let's say around 9, few minutes after 9.
In this Abuja?
Yes, in Abuja. Now I was going to deliver something. We have this water factory.
Okay.
So we're going to give to a customer, and suddenly we just started hearing gunshots. Before we could do anything, the guy was confused. I had to start, moving the gear for him. And before you knew it, he reversed into the bush, and they caught up with us. We got to find out that this Fulani headsmen, so it took us that day. We jogged, let's say maybe 7-8 hours, because I don't know.
Jogging.
Yes, if you didn't jog, they will flog you. If you didn't jog, they will flog you. So you had to just jog. Good thing I went to a boarding school, so I was used to all this kind of torture.
How long ago were you in the boarding school that you are used to that kind of jogging? How long were you held for?
We were captured on Sunday night, and then were released on Tuesday. The early hours of Tuesday, around let's say 1 a.m. on Tuesday. So 2 days.
Was there a ransom paid?
You have to. If not,
how much did they pay on your head? I want to hear it. Okay, no, tell me when we go off air, before they'll use it and they'll carry you again and say, this one should still have money from where it's talking from. Well, I can only say, I can understand, but I don't know if I can understand. So
yeah, it was traumatic, but I always say the most traumatic experience of my life was the death of my dad. So at that point, I think I was ready to go, because these guys, the torture was, you didn't know if you were going to survive. You didn't know if you were going to be alive the next minute. These guys were practically shooting at us. So and they had daggers, 7 of them, and we're kept in a mountain. We didn't even know whether we were still in Abuja. Kept at the top of a mountain.
Were you still in Abuja?
Yes, we
eventually
were.
You found out you were still in Abuja.
Yes, we're still in Abuja. Our eyes were tied. I still have part of the scar from our eyes being tied. Our hands were tied behind for 2 days. You don't know when it's morning, you don't know when it's night. So
your eyes remain tied for the entire 2 days.
Yes, in fact, it will be painful for there to be scar on my face. That it was really a very painful time. So Like my eyeballs, the major thing I was begging them for was for them to just release it a bit. With all the torture, my eyes were the things that were paining me the most. So it was not so traumatic at first until I heard the voice of my mom when they called her. Yes.
Oh,
then that was when my biggest fear was if anything happens, what will happen to my mom? Someone that just lost her husband. Less than then it was less than 4 years before. So being the firstborn, losing your firstborn again, it was going to be a crazy experience. So you're dealing with like emotional trauma as well. Yes. For someone who has not faced that kind of thing before, it was crazy.
How did you do you think you've healed? Do you think you've gotten over it? Do you still see Fulani people and feel some kind of rage within?
Funny enough, I'm a happy person. Like things don't
phase you?
Yes. I think the only thing that shook me, that's really shaken me, was the death of my dad. But after that, the fear was there, but
we move.
After we were released, I resumed my real estate business 2 days after. And the thing about me is I don't hate people. I have a lot of Fulani friends. I have a lot of Hausa friends because I was born in Bauchi. My earliest friends were from the north too. So all these tribal things, they are not my thing. Everybody, as long as you're a good person, and I can tell you that God just helped. The leader of the kidnappers was one of the people that God used to help us. Funny enough, they were torturing us 1 minute. The next minute he came, released us. If maybe without him, his other boys would have killed us or something. So we were released, and he ended up giving us a bottle of malt and milk.
Aww.
He even asked me to give my mom malt. It was funny.
He asked you to give your mom milk
because he was saying you should just tell my mom that we're sorry. He was saying it's because of my mom he released us. Things like that. He kept saying that. Because he had my mom had collapsed. So, but
kidnapper that has conscience. He had your mom collapse and he let you go.
I was surprised.
Was that your ransom?
No.
That was the price it took. Your mom passing out. That is amazing. That is. I mean, we're making jokes of it now, but I can imagine how.
Yeah, at that moment it was not funny. It was not funny at all. It was not funny. God used people. Because we really have raised money for ransom at that moment. We didn't have the money.
I mean, very, very sad situation. Very sad that Nigerians have to sit down, think back on things like this. Really very sad. But then let's come back to real estate. How did you become a real estate agent in Abuja?
Well, okay. So growing up, I always wanted to be wealthy, right? My first experience with of wealth was an allergy with a briefcase. So and we're always talking about house and all of this. So in my mind, I said, when I grow up, I will have the most beautiful cities. I didn't used to like that. I'll see this red soil in Nigeria, and I'll watch American movies, and I'll be saying, I want to see all these kind of things. I say I want to create a city like that. Everybody will just be living, and they'll just be living free. I want to be so rich that people will just have houses, and I'm wondering why all the rich people in this world not giving people houses to live for free, nice as when they have the money. Then I didn't have much understanding of wealth and how things worked, but then I always wanted that kind of thing. So my dad pushed me into real estate. I dropped out of school for my second degree. I was studying law, but my dad.
You ran from law too?
Yes, I was studying law.
It's fine.
My dad was a lawyer, so as firstborn and all of that. So but my dad, he was still supportive. So he sent me to a friend of his who happened to be a GMD in a top real estate firm, and I went there to say, okay, let me work with them. I'll be one of their marketers. I've never marketed real estate in my life. I'd never done anything relating to real estate. All I was doing at that moment was network marketing. So I had a few marketing skills. So I said, okay, I could use these skills and translate it into real estate marketing. So I joined them. Less than 24 hours after my dad died.
Less than 24 hours after you joined real estate.
Yes, I joined 11th of June 2019. and my dad died early hours around 2 a.m. June 12th, 2019. So so for the first 1 year of being in real estate, I didn't seal any deal. I didn't rent or sell any house to anybody. I was just struggling in real estate. But my dad was the one who brought me into real estate. Brought me to real estate. It was like, okay, let me do something and see what I can do, since I was not really doing much. So that's how I started real estate. But the kidnapping now amplified what I'm now doing today. I got to experience firsthand what it meant not to have a roof over your head, and the value of freedom, the value of having your own place to stay, to call your own house. So that's what has influenced what I'm doing today. Yes,
your brand has become today. So say somebody wants to get a house in Abuja. A person hasn't really had any experience staying in the city, and person is like, oh, you know what, I'm going to hit you up. What are some of the things the person should be on the lookout for? With scammers, how do I identify a real estate agent and a fake real estate agent?
First of all, the best way to get a real estate agent is through referral. Don't just get a real estate agent off air. Now, another way to go about getting your houses, searching social media. Search social media, and if you're searching social media and you want to get an agent, go to top agents who already have engagements on their platforms. Even if they don't have the time to attend to you, they will be able to refer you to other trustworthy agents. Now, you've already done your due diligence to see that, okay, this person has engagements, the person has results, testimonials from the past, and you gone down the person's page, see that the person has been consistent over a long period of time, and the person is trusted. There are ways to get this. These are just few ways to get to know who is a trustworthy agent. Once you see those kind of people, many times they may not have that time to attend to small requests, but they may be able to push you in the right direction. So they may refer you to others. And also you can contact friends, people who are staying in the area you want to stay with. If you want to stay in, if you already have people staying there, so they can direct you to agents. So that's one way to get.
Now there's this menace, right? It's becoming annoying. I used to think it was fair, but you start to see that the numbers are going up. Inspection fee. And how it makes life very difficult for people that are trying to find houses, especially in this city. Because say you're trying to, you have to look through like 4 or 5 houses in a day, and someone is asking you to pay 7,000 to 10,000 naira per inspection, and they can be very rude about all of that. If I'm speaking your mind, let me know. If I'm not speaking your mind, call and grill this man. The number to reach us out in the course of the show is 0700 010 961 961. Okay, 0700 010 961 961. Call us, drop a message on WhatsApp or a voice note. We're gonna take it. Okay, and let's know what your concerns are, especially figuring out the Abuja real estate market. So back to what I was asking, inspection fee. What's your general opinion about it? And
okay, so this is what I'll say about inspection fee. When I started, I didn't used to collect inspection fee, right? But now I collect inspection fee, and I advise agents to collect inspection fee. This is why. When you collect inspection fee, let it be. The thing is, there are a lot of agents that are not professional in their operation, and that is why the inspection fee has become a menace. You take somebody to an apartment, you take the person next time, and you are collecting another inspection fee. So for every time the person comes, you collect another inspection fee, and then your services are not organized. There's no arrangement in what you do. What I do, and what I have a community of agents that I train. What I advise them is this: advise them that, look, collect agents inspection fee once for a client, and you prioritize that client. Make sure you get what the person is looking for, which is why I advise agents to get good properties. So when your agent comes to inspect, there's a high chance that the client is taking that house, so that you don't have to be collecting a lot of inspection fees. But then a lot of people go about collecting, and they're using to in fact, some people prioritize inspection fee more than their agency fee, and which should not be. So inspection fee should just be like a consultation fee, meaning you are going to offer other services beyond just taking the person for inspection. You give the person advice, you give the person, like, you put the person in the right direction. So I always create content to put clients in the right direction, so that you know that from the beginning of your house hunting experience, one of the things you should look forward to is, or one of the things you should put in place is to have your bank statement in place if you are not a working class person, because most landlords want working class people, and a lot of people that house hunting don't know this. So I advise clients, put your business your bank statement in place, so that your
landlords require bank statements before they can rent out their houses.
Not really, but the thing is, the reason why a lot of landlords are looking for working class people is because they feel like these people have more steady income. But your bank statement as a business person can now tell the landlord, okay, look, I have a good income and I can pay your rent. That's a way to remedy the issue of.
Very much understood. Have you experienced difficult clients before? Difficult, like people that want to rent houses that have given you a tough time? I want stories.
Every day.
Which one stood out the most? Trust me, I am sitting here, I can give you like 4 stories, but please give us.
Okay, in fact, there is one that I'm presently on. This lady, we took her to get an apartment in an estate, and we got this up. We showed her different things, and she had a lot of stories. And months after we've taken her on different inspections. Now, this particular client was not difficult. She was desperate to get an apartment, and she was on it. She kept begging, and they will ask her to fill form. The details she put are different from what she will make mistake. She will put different details today. They will say no, she should refill it, and she will put on that. It was confusing.
She didn't know her details, or she was doing it for somebody else.
We don't even know. So the landlord, or sorry, the management felt like she was not being sincere, so they didn't take her. Next thing, I connected her to an agent that was in that estate. He showed her a particular apartment. We didn't hear from her. Next thing, months after, we saw that she had gotten the house.
The same house.
None of the agents knew. So she went behind our backs to go communicate to the landlord. She paid for the house, and she didn't pay our agency fee. We had to take that matter to the police station.
Cheating?
The matter is presently in the police station right now.
Hey.
So we face a lot of clients like that. So that's why a lot of people come to my page and complain that, look, why don't you post the location of these houses? We have reasons, and these kind of things are some of the reasons, because a lot of people, in fact, we had a funny situation. This man, we showed him an apartment, we gave him the form. He used the form to reach out to the lawyer, because he saw the number of the lawyer on the management form, and he reached out to the lawyer. So he tried to bypass us. Thank God we have a relationship with the lawyer. He called us back when we're trying to collect. The man paid for the house, but he was being stubborn to pay for the agency fee because the landlord happened to be his tribe. So we're telling him, he was now threatening us, telling us that he's above the law. Like he's above the law.
But you didn't know you're above the law when you needed my services to get a house.
That is above the law. That if we try him, this and that, was threatening us. All those ones don't face us. We faced a lot of those stuff.
So you're in police station now. It's 5 and 6. You people are used to the police.
Sometimes we go to meet soldiers. We go to meet soldiers. It's that crazy, because so we are dealing with stubborn lawyers, we are dealing with stubborn agents, we are dealing with stubborn landlords, we are dealing with stubborn clients. So it's a Nigerian thing. It's not about whether you're an agent or you're a client or a landlord.
We have this question. This question is from Chike from Cuba. He says, is rent negotiable? Is the price of rent negotiable in Abuja?
There's nothing that is written on stone, right? It just depends on the particular property. It depends on the landlord. I just there was a house that rented some time ago, and there was a self-con going for 600,000. The clients ended up paying 580 for it. So there's nothing that is written on stone. A lot of houses prices have been negotiated. You know.
I've seen you sometimes say, "Oh, we're no longer marketing this property because it's way too expensive." Have you had issues where you're like, "Mr. Landlord, this money is too much. You need to cut it down"?
The thing is, there are a lot of greedy landlords as much as there are also greedy agents. Like I said, it's a Nigerian thing. A lot of people is not. It's our society. You know, there's this greed in everybody. Since price of things are going up, let me increase. So a lot of properties will see landlords inflating prices, and some of the times it might not even be the landlord's fault. Sometimes it might be agents that are advising them. Like the one I recently posted that I'm no longer marketing this property. That property had a shared kitchen, and the management of the property put it at 650. Small self-con with a shared kitchen, and they put service charge as 180,000 naira. A self-con. I advised and advised. They didn't listen to me, and I said, okay, no problem. We are handing off this property, and we are telling all our clients and everybody affiliated with Giddy Steel not to take that property.
Did you try to tell them, this is way too expensive?
I told them. In fact, a client came. It was so embarrassing because a client came. When someone is trying to be greedy, the words do not match. I'd already agreed with the management that, look, let's reduce it. Okay, let's put the price of this house at 600, and then the service charge will be 120. They said the service charge was to cover both estates, service charge, and then payment of the salary of the security. I said, okay, no problem. Let us instead, people would rather pay less for service charge, and you can add the price to the rent, so the rent will be higher and then the service charge will be less. So instead of 600, you can make the rent 650 and then the service charge 70,000. And we agreed this. When I came with the clients. I even reduced.
Let's take this call and then we'll come back to the conversation. Hello, welcome to the conversation. Good afternoon.
Hello, good evening, Madam Tunde.
Good evening, Mr. Lawrence. I am suspecting it's Mr. Lawrence.
Exactly. This is the ever-present Mr. Lawrence, all the way from Soko.
Thank you for calling, Mr. Lawrence. Go ahead with your submission.
I think it's that time that all of us come back to our village to buy land. Because the way this estate developers here in Abuja are beginning to draw the last blood in our body, and telling all the good people of Abuja to go back to their village and get land. Because you see one small piece of land somewhere, and the way they are calling all these millions, you think it's something that you pick money on the ground. It's not really okay. And that is why I will not blame one of my friends who bought a land, and in that land you build a house, in that house you have a shop, in that shop you have a pharmacy, and just in front of that pharmacy his wife is selling tomatoes.
In one space.
Trying to utilize, you are calling this space. Do you know how much is a small land that God has given all of us for free? If that is the case, they should also, since Nigeria is our father's land, let them just divide the land and give me my share. Let me take my own share and go somewhere.
Thank you very much for your input, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you very much for
as well as before I go, as well as much as real estate is a very, very good business, but I am pleading with these developers to just take it easy on the amount. Though land is something that when you invest, it appreciates. But the way the money is going these days, we'll just go back to our village. Thank you, Madam Chin. You are doing a very good job. And my regards to the young man you have in the city.
Thank you, Mr.
So
Lawrence.
You're welcome.
Sure. Well, if you have your 2 cents to share or any questions for Mr. Giddy Steels, reach out to us before the program is over, which is in another like 4 or 5 minutes. So reach out ASAP 0700 010 961. You were saying before, we got interrupted by
so a client came to come and take this particular house, and then the caretaker, like the manager of the property, she didn't have things together because she was thinking of, let me get more. My client came and she was calling different price. I mean, I was like, where was this coming from? And it was different from what I'd already told the client. So thank God, people, my clients know me and know the principles, what I stand for. So you knew I couldn't. When she now started explaining, and I was trying to reduce my agency fee for the client because I saw that she really needed it and the price was getting a lot so that she could get the place. Then the caretaker said, look, they're only giving me 5%, and I already said I was going to reduce 5% from the agency. So if I reduce 5% and they are giving me 5%, it means there's nothing for me.
There's nothing for you.
Nothing for me. And I told my client, look, I'll look for another house for you. This woman is not ready for this. So we face a lot of landlords like that, caretakers like that, property managers like that. That's why agents, in fact, second Saturday of this month, I'm gathering as many as 200 or more agents together in Abuja. We want to come together and discuss. Let agents have a voice, if possible form a union for agents or an association, or want to come together second Saturday of this month, gathering as many agents as possible,
just to sit down and have a discourse.
Yes, and look at how things are, so that there'll be voice.
Because of want of time, what is the standard agency fee? Because some people will say agency and legal 15%, others will say 10%, others will say 5%. I've never seen a 5% anyway.
Now, standard agency fee for rental is 10%. Although right now it's being reviewed. Trying to review it to 15.
Reviewed by who?
A lot of agents I've met, talked about that. But the standard is 10%, right? While legal fee is 5%. But then a lot of lawyers also, they tell you that
the lawyers want more.
They are now collecting 10%. Lawyers.
So people are now looking at paying 20%.
20%. A lot of properties.
I mean, what is that now to say to the end? Because it's the end consumer that suffers all of this in the end.
That would have been better if a lot of agents were not now being greedy and trying to advise the landlords to increase or inflate the prices of the rent. But you see people trying to inflate prices of rent, and meanwhile this person is going to pay the rent yearly after you've collected your agency and gone, and that doesn't make sense. So for me, I tell them, if it's a property that there are many agents and we are collecting 20% for agency and legal, I'll tell the client, look, this is the amount we are collecting, and we'll tell you, we're playing with you. It's business. If you want to negotiate. If we reach a middle ground, fine. But if I'm not able to.
Final question I gotta ask you. Sadly, we're in want of time, and I hate it when I have beautiful conversations. Is when time just runs. But then girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do, right? My final question for you is: if I want to become a real estate agent today, just give us like 5 quick tips on how you can get involved in the real estate agency market.
First thing is search for real estate agents in your location. Go online, search for real estate agents in your location. You can see pages or groups on Facebook, Instagram, even you can see agents on TikTok. Just ask them to add you up to groups. In fact, for instance, at Giddy we have groups we add people up to. That's first thing. Second thing, once you connect with these agents, get the properties they post on these groups. Ask them to send you properties. Go on your own and scout around, move around. You see properties with banners for management, banners or properties. Call the management, call the landlords. Thirdly, tell everybody that you are an agent. Post it on your social media platforms. Tell the security guy around you that you're into that. These security guys are influential when it comes to the real estate. They know properties, they know landlords. Tell them. Go to your church, talk to people. And then fourthly, I will say start posting properties when you get them. You need to have video editing skill as an agent. You need to be able to operate your phone, have a camera phone, a browsing phone. The fifth thing I will say is learn how to give value. Be a person of value. In fact, that should be the first thing. You should be a person of value as an agent. If not, you'll be doing the same thing like others are doing, the street agents. You will not differentiate yourself. Real estate agency should be a career that you can build a brand out of. But if you're not able to give value, you will just be doing everything, feeding from mouth to mouth.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gideon, for being in the house with me today. Very fun conversation. Our conversations never end. I mean, today's conversation is a continuation of the conversation that started since on Saturday. And I mean, here we are. Thank you so much for your insights.
You're welcome. I enjoyed myself.
Oh, I enjoyed myself as well. And thank you for paying attention. The news at 6 comes up at 6. Before then, what are we gonna do? I tell you, we're gonna party starting with Jason.